but if not, we'll look forward to this report coming back again, the State of the College Address. And it got coverage as well, but regardless of that, it got coverage for the right reasons, is that I think the comment was that what used to be a 2-year institution is now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year institution, and that's not good for anyone. So I look forward to what we can possibly do to help our students. So those are the 2 items, informational. They are now queued up, and I hope this process also helps everyone on the board as we try to deliberate certain issues in the future. With that, we'll move on to the consent calendar if there's no other questions. And this one also takes a little bit of time, so I'm going to ask the questions slowly. Could I entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar, all items? There's a motion by Trustee Zia.
Second.
Second by Trustee Baxter. Items to remove from the consent calendar? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, and if we do, you would be able to pull those separately, but no.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd have to do that.
There's no items to be pulled from the consent calendar, so Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll on item 4.1, approval of consent calendar.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Consent calendar item is approved. Next one is, I'm waiting for it to scroll down, but I can move forward on these items. There are really no items at this time, so I'll read through them quickly. Item 5, Human Resources, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Vice Presidents. Item 5 is Human Resources, no items. Item 6, Academic Senate, Title 5, section, no items. I'm going to not do item 7, Superintendent President Communication Assessment Update. I'm going to just, or would you like to take?
Yes, I'm sorry. That was the information I just shared with you about the communications plan, the process, and the timeline.
So there's no additional ones under that item
No.
7.1?
No,
Okay, very
not at
good.
this time.
Then item 8, Academic Affairs, no items. Number 9, Student Support Services, no items. Administrative Services, no items, 10.1. Pacific Coast Campus, we had a report, but there's no items in this area. And maybe we should probably clarify, when we say no items, there's a breakdown on why we do this way, but there are no items for us to address, but there was a report for Pacific Coast Campus. Then item 12, College Advancement and Economic Development. And this is 12.1, the creation of auxiliary entry, Operate Innovation Fund, Southern California. So at this time, I'll recognize Vice President Bynum.
Yes, thank you, President Kellogg. If you recall, we were here last month with information about the Innovation Fund and the work that we've been doing with Kauffman, and our efforts to be able to transfer the moniker for Innovation Fund away from Innovation Fund America at Lorraine Community College and have it reside locally here at Long Beach City College. And so what we are requesting tonight is have the board authorize the action for us to be able to establish an auxiliary entity to be able to operate that Innovation Fund Southern California. And I can provide more information if you've got specific questions about that.
Questions, members of the board, and why don't I start with, because I did not do it, that entertain a motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Baxter,
Zia. I made the motion.
and by Trustee Zia, second by Trustee Baxter. She was closer so I could hear her louder. So there's a motion and a second on the floor to approve this item. Comments, members of the board?
I have a
Chair
question.
recognizes Trustee Zia.
Well, first of all, I must say this is so exciting. I really enjoy the presentation and just the success stories last time sitting here. And I look forward to this growing and helping our students, not only business owners, but really calling them to action to hire our students and give that opportunity, which you guys are already underway of doing. My question is more on the logistics, on the format of the auxiliary entity and what the benefits would be to the district versus the current operations and the pros. If you can go into that, that would be fantastic.
Okay, yes, Trustee Zia. Let me explain a little bit about what we've been doing. I think that'll help shape why we're doing it, frame why we're doing this. We've been operating these funds with Kaufman for since 2013. We're one of 2 colleges in the country that have the Innovation Fund. It was originally authorized through what's called Innovation Fund America, which was an outgrowth of Obama's Startup America campaign. Lorraine Community College was the parent entity, if you will, to work with those funds, and Kaufman Foundation came in and partnered with Lorraine and us, as well as Catawba College in North Carolina, to be able to offer funds locally to be able to seed high-growth businesses in the community. Of course, the object of that is that these businesses succeed, they stay here, they create jobs, and they provide opportunities for our students as interns and are creating jobs in our community. Lorraine Community College, we've had to work the funds through Lorraine Community College because they had a foundation and they established a separate 501c3 because their foundation wasn't allowed through IRS designations to be able to handle these kinds of transactions. Their foundation was set up for scholarships and fundraising activities. And in the process of doing that, we wanted to transfer our funds back here. Kaufman is working with Catawba College and with us. They've provided $100,000 in a grant to help us transition and do the setup for the auxiliary for these funds. And so what we're hoping to be able to do is to establish a legal entity that allows us to bring these funds back locally, that we can do fundraising, put the funds in our own local 501c3.
So is this something that we can't funnel through or work through our foundation? It has to be separate. Our Long Beach City College Foundation has to be a separate auxiliary fund.
Yes, the IRS designation for these funds has to be a particular fund to be able to do fundraising for innovation purposes. Our designation, and Dr. Baxter can help clarify this, our foundation's current designation probably is the same as Lorraine's in that it's fundraising for donors in the community as well as scholarships. But Dr. Baxter, maybe you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I talked to Vice President Bynum before the meeting, and we are not, the Long Beach City College Foundation is not allowed to give grants to businesses. They have to give their money to students or entities at Long Beach City College. And so that's why I'm perfectly comfortable with having another foundation, as long as the name is not similar to our name and our donors are not confused. And I've been assured of that, so I am wholeheartedly behind it because I think it is a very innovative idea, and I wish it the best success.
Other members of the board on this? I agree to see this sitting there, and we talked about it at our last meeting, the presentation about it, and there was a reference even tonight about the potential of having internship programs offered in the future, and it takes some time to get those up and going, but the fact is that's where it is going, and this is just an area of the college that, again, I don't think, somewhat like with the Pacific Coast campus, I mean, the things we do here, many times people just don't really understand, and in this program, the Innovation Fund of America, how it started, where we are, and the success we have, and it also feeds into with the Goldman Sachs program, with the small businesses. We're doing things in so many ways with this community that are not your traditional, what people view as the role of community college, but nonetheless, it is a mission of community colleges, and where we are doing things that other colleges, well, you mentioned one in North Carolina, and the other one, I don't even know.
Lorraine Community College in Ohio.
Where's Ohio? That's right. So we should be very proud of that. So if there's no other questions, members of the board, at this time there is a motion and a second on the floor. There's no other discussion. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll on the creation of auxiliary entity to operate Innovation Fund Southern California.
Irma Archuleta. Aye. Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg,
Aye.
and Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Item carries. We're now to reports, and the Academic Senate President, Karen Kane, which I mispronounced at the State of the College and called her Kerr, and I'm only blaming it because Megan Kerr, I introduced her right before Karen Kane. So, but I don't think that's why she's not here tonight, but she is absent, not feeling well. So we'll move on. Superintendent President is not here, so we will see if he will be here. So we now are at the student trustee.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank Board President Kellogg and the members of the board who took a large chunk of their time to prepare an inspiring message to our student leaders at our ASB retreat on Friday, February 6th and Saturday, February 7th. Your messages were absolutely valued as students took away so much inspiration from each of your individual stories. And of course, we must thank Superintendent President Oakley for his inspiring speech on a very big day, the State of the College Address. We truly appreciate all of you for taking your time to connect with student leaders on campus and look forward to more opportunities for students to connect with you all. Special thanks also goes to Dr. Peterson and Connie Sears for sharing some very valuable information and a bit of pizza. This semester, I've set a few goals, and I'm happy to announce that after teaming up with ASB President Lokalani Hunt, with due diligence, we contacted the Viking coordinator, the Viking volunteer coordinator, Taylor Robertson, and are now able to provide an incentive to widen the amount of student interaction on campus governance, student interaction in campus governance. There we go. For every hour a student attends a Board of Trustee meeting or an ASB cabinet meeting, they will receive a Viking Volunteer Hour. The Viking Volunteer Program is offered through the Office of Student Life and records volunteer hours for transcript notations. This is a stepping stone to not only getting more students involved in governance at LBCC, but in the community as well. As your student trustee, I am truly excited to be a part of this for this semester, and I look forward to great things we're going to accomplish together. Thanks again for the opportunity to work with you. Go Vikings.
Thank you. We're now at the trustee committees. So if we would, I'll start from the left, work to the right, and I'll finish. So Trustee Zia, trustee reports.
Okay. I was wondering about that. Thank you, President Kellogg. On Saturday, February 7th, as Gus mentioned, Trustee Otto and I, we went to the ASB leadership retreat, and I want to just thank them for putting it together, and our student advisors. So great job, team. And we really had a chance to connect with these students and tell them about our personal stories, how we became to be in this public office and be public servants. We had a call to action to our students and to really be our partners, as we are here to support you. We're here to serve you. You are our clientele, but we'd love it if you could be our partners, show up to the Board of Trustee meetings, and then work together in lockstep and with the rest of our students to help us help the institution close these achievement gaps, get to know your fellow students, find out why it's taking a certain amount of time and how we can help each other, and really get them so that we can take on the challenge that our superintendent has put on and really work together as one village and one community. And I just have to tell you, I just love our student body, our ASB students. They're just so amazing. I really look forward to working with them, our staff, and taking care of our counselors, our faculty and staff who take care of those students, and making sure our students are empowered and truly no student is left behind. That includes our disabled students, veteran students, and homeless students. On February 9th through 11th, Trustee Otto and I, along with our Director of Communications, John Pope, and our Assistant Director, Stacy Toda, who's in the audience, and of course, Superintendent Oakley, we attended the Association of Community College Trustees Legislative Advocacy in Washington, D.C., and met with our representatives. It was single digits, so I finally got some snow on my snow boots. And among those issues, we advocated for strong funding support for community colleges and our students, and reauthorization of the Perkins Act in support of strengthening career technical education programs and support for workforce and career training grants and programs. The sessions were really invigorating, I have to say. It was really inspiring to see a national discussion on community colleges, thanks to our president, President Barack Obama, and really a focus on support for community colleges. The how is still being worked out. I'm certainly curious to see how it's all going to work out. But it was just wonderful to have the national dialogue going and listen to it. We also had the pleasure of seeing Second Lady Vice President Joe Biden's, or Second Lady Jill Biden speak on the topic, of course, with her personal experience with community colleges. And that was certainly a delight. And on February 27th, I have an invitation to our community and our students and my colleagues. There is an event, for some of you who don't know, education is considered a crime in some parts of the world, including my country of birth, Iran, for religious minorities. A special religious minority, the Baha'i community, and they're not allowed to seek higher education. And so there's a international campaign, and I thought it was very thematic. A lot of stars in Hollywood are hosting it, and I was able to negotiate a great rate for us, $20 for our students. And it really is about why education is a right and how we should fight to support those who are fighting for those rights and access to higher education. So this, again, it's going to be in the Ace Hotel, in the theater at the Ace Hotel, the beautiful Ace Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. It's going to be hosted by the star of The Office, Rainn Wilson, and our Long Beach native and star of CSI, Ava LaRue, singer-songwriter Andy Grammer. For those of you who don't know who that is, that's you got to keep your head up. That famous song, Ozomatli, Ellis Hall, and Maziar Bahari, who is the star of the latest movie that Jon Stewart made, and it's called Rosewater. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it, and it was about this journalist who went to Iran and was in solitary confinement and came back and became a big advocate for those who are struggling peacefully, really resisting. And they could simply lie and go to college, but they refused to do that. So there's an online education program going with many of our professors in Long Beach, in Cal State Long Beach, very esteemed. They're volunteering their time to teach these students, and it's fully accredited, viewed as accredited in the US. So I encourage you to go and really check out what other people in the world are facing and what great things that we have in this great nation. Sometimes we take it for granted, and I'm certainly very inspired by this community. So again, the event is on Friday. It's at the theater at Ace Hotel. It's at 925 South Broadway in downtown LA. I have some tickets for our students, and if any student wants to go and price is a consideration, I'll personally take care of it. And if you have any more questions, you can personally contact me. My cell phone's listed on the website, but I'll also leave it here. It's 562-270-5017. And you're more than welcome to contact me directly and about anything. Thank you.
Trustee Baxter?
Yes, I'd like to talk about some of the things that have been going on campus and salute certain people. First of all, on February 17th, Deborah Peterson and Dwayne Schaefer put on a Black History Month, a celebration of peace. They honored 4 generations of peace builders, and this was through the development of African American professionals. They did a beautiful job, wonderful luncheon, and I want to salute them for highlighting these 4 very important leaders. Then last Wednesday night, Coaches versus Cancer had an event in the gym featuring both the men's and women's basketball team. There was an event to raise money for the American Cancer Society. We were fortunate to have a donation of Supermex, provide food, and we raised money by selling dinners to people. And it was a very well-attended event, and also this Friday night, LBCC men's basketball will go into the conference playoffs, so that's a very important thing, and they're seeded eighth. Then I want to salute the people who helped put on the State of the College Luncheon. This is Cindy Hanks in the media area, who worked very, very hard to have that beautiful presentation on the video and also on screen. To John Pope, Stacy Toda, and Camille Bolton, and Heather Morris, who put together the annual report and actually the logistics of putting the luncheon together. We had 400 people there, and I was very, very pleased with the turnout and the enthusiasm of people in the audience. Then I also attended the leadership retreat, and I may have talked too long, but I enjoyed sharing my life history, which is a little bit different than some of our students, and also my perspective of being here for over 40 years. And then we have 3 events coming up. Tomorrow night, you can go to Pieology, which is across from the Lakewood Center, and if you buy pizza pie, they will give a donation to the Healthcare Associates, so supporting scholarships and grants to healthcare. Then on March 14th, the Child Development Associates are having a luncheon fundraiser silent auction at Tokyo Waco. And then finally, on March 21st, the Fine Arts Associates is having a theater night at the LBCC play, Kill Me Deadly. It's a spoof on film noir. We're having an event before, so if you're interested in any of those things, please attend. And then lastly, foundation grants have been announced, and this is for any department or student on campus who has a project that they would like to have funded. The applications are available right now on the website, and they're due March 13th. We have especially reached out to Vice President Long's area, hoping that department heads and faculty will apply. Last year, believe it or not, we had more money than we had applicants, and that's, I think, a very sore state. We've also reached out to the new faculty, and we hope that they will apply for a grant. These are not scholarships, so students can't ask for money for scholarships, but they can ask Gus down there, and Lokalani, if she's still here. They can ask for projects. For instance, we're one of the funders of the John Philpa Leadership Conference. So if you can think of something that you need in your area, we're here to help you. And that's my report. Thank you.
Trustee Archuleta?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and just want to say how sad I feel that I wasn't at the State of the College address. I feel really bad for having missed it, but it's wonderful to hear about the attendance. It's wonderful to hear about the conversation and the type of support that the institution received on that day. I also want to commend everyone that was involved in putting this together and participating, and I particularly want to commend our Superintendent President Oakley for talking about an area that is rather difficult for most of us who, and I would say for all of us who are in education. We know about the atrocity in terms of student success and how students are not able to succeed, are not able to accomplish their educational objectives within a specific timeline. The data that he shared with you, which is not unique to Long Beach City College, but it's a national trend that students are taking 6 years to transfer from a community college or to complete an AA or an AS degree. Those are some horrible statistics, and I think the fact that President Oakley is willing to say it publicly and to talk about what needs to be done, that we need to do a better job of making sure that the students complete their educational objectives, that we need to take on the challenge of figuring out what we as an institution need to do in order to address the problem, rather than looking at what it is that the students are doing or not doing. It's sometimes easier for us as institutions, and I think I'm in a unique situation where I'm not only serving as a trustee, as a policymaker, but I'm also a practitioner, so I get to see this situation from both sides of the house. And I know the challenges that we often face in trying to figure out, what do we do? What do we need to do? And oftentimes it's always easier to say, well, it's the students. The students are not coming prepared. It's the student that is coming in. It's the student with a deficit. And it's really harder choice to look at ourselves as an institution and say, okay, what do we need to do different? What is not working? And I think this is the challenge that Superintendent Oakley is placing before us. And so I want to applaud him for doing that. And I would hope that we all come together as a campus community, the community at large, to look at the situation and figure out, how do we improve? We need to initiate that dialogue, not just within the institution, but also looking at our partners in K-12. We talk about aligning education. We know that's not happening. So how do we make that happen? Because that's part of the challenge that we have, that our education system is not aligned from K-12 to community college, from community college to the university. But so again, we need to do that work. We need to do it together. And we need to do it for the benefit of our students, for the benefit of our community. And so I commit myself to doing this work. I commit myself to working with Superintendent President Oakley and with my colleagues here to make sure that that work is done for the betterment of our students and for the betterment of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Final comments. It was already touched on, so I will not repeat, but the Leadership Conference of Students, thank you very much. That's always enjoyable to go to, and there's a lot of good give and take in those as well. Men's basketball, congratulations to them, was mentioned. They won the conference championship again, and so now they're in the playoffs, and I think that's wonderful. Again, the college performing at a high level in so many ways. It also has been mentioned about the state of the college. Thank you to everybody who made that such a success. Every year it seems to grow. And again, my apologies to pulling a John Travolta. No, I didn't do it in John Travolta manner of botching someone's name. I just confused Megan Kerr and Karen Kane, and I came up with Karen Kerr. So, but nonetheless, it was a great event, and so thank you for everybody. It is really enjoyable, and as Trustee Archuleta, there were some very serious comments in that given us an opportunity to address, and something that I believe we will, as this college always has, not afraid to look at issues that need to be addressed, and so we're going to do that because of a future report. And then the other two items, CCLC conference. Trustee Zia mentioned there was a conference for the National Association back in Washington, D.C. I just can't ever get over that hurdle of voluntarily going to Washington, D.C. in February. And I've never gone, I don't think, but they're not going to change for me, but that's a very valuable. But at the same time, at the end of January, we had our statewide legislative conference for the CCLC, Community College League of California in Sacramento, and my colleagues, they were there and working with the new assembly members and Senate members as we start going through the legislative process there as well. And we also had some presentations. I do a lot of presentations there as well. And then the first day of college was a few weeks ago. And so I know everybody, but I had the opportunity with Vice President Bynum to sit in a booth and hand out these. And fortunately, anyone that talked to Vice President Bynum actually found their classrooms in a timely fashion. Anyone that talked to me, they're probably somewhere out on Carson Street right now still looking for their class. But it is a great day to go to because of the excitement that's going on. And it just, it's exciting because of the students that are there for all the right reasons. And that's what makes being part of this college so special. So it went off, I believe, without a hitch, except for the ones that addressed me, but also thank you to everyone that volunteered their time to essentially be in those information booths and give students direction, and a lot of people were doing that, so it's a fun event as well. So those are my items. Again, thank you for everyone for participating on that particular day. As we move forward, just a note, because we're going to move on to the next one, I rarely, unless this thing my phone, if my wife contacts me, it's going to tell me, because that is an important call. But right behind that for tonight is Eli Oakley. I will just paraphrase, but his line was, "My flight got canceled as I was beginning to taxi," since all of us who travel a lot understand that. But he is en route to the college, but we will not wait for the superintendent report. We'll let that go for another day. So there's no other reports at this time by individual members. The future reports we talked about earlier, about what potentially, and again, the item the trustee Zia requested, I have not had an opportunity to work with Vice President Gable on the format that we can present for the next meeting to review that. So we are now at the item for public comment on non-agenda item. And Madam Secretary, I only have one person, Karen Roberts, who would like to speak on the event for National Adjunct, is that a walkout day? I first thought it said workout day. Welcome.
Welcome. Good evening, President Kellogg and Board of Trustee members. Tomorrow, Wednesday, February 25th, is the first ever National Adjunct Walkout Day. This was proposed by a part-time faculty member at San Jose State University, and it has received broad support across the nation. A variety of colleges and universities will be putting on different events to bring awareness to the working and salary conditions of part-time faculty. At Long Beach City College, CHI is not encouraging or sanctioning any kind of boycott or work stoppage, and I have been in touch with Superintendent President Oakley about that. We decided that that is not in the best interest of our almost 700 precarious part-time faculty. However, we will be holding an activity near the pathway that leads from the student crosswalk as it goes across Carson and towards the A building. We'll have tables set up over there, and we'll be holding outside office hours. This is to bring attention to the fact that adjunct faculty are not paid to hold office hours to meet with students, and we want to let them know how that affects their education. In addition, CHI will be passing out stickers. Some say Adjunct Ally, and I brought one for each one of you. I hope you would wear it tomorrow. And for students, tomorrow we will be passing out stickers that say, "Today I learned from an adjunct." And hopefully we can get people to wear their stickers in recognition of this very important event. So please come out and see us if you have some time, and stop by our table and meet some of your part-time faculty. We'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Baxter?
Karen, what time is this event?
From 11 to 1.
Okay, thank you.
All right, very good.
And where is it held?
Trustee Zia?
Karen, where is it held again?
Right near on the pathway between the crosswalk and Gable.
Okay, all right.
All right, and so people, this meeting, we traditionally do our closed session prior to our 5 o'clock start of our regularly scheduled board meeting. Today, though, we had a work session for the members of the governing board on, I don't want to,
Sexual harassment.
well, yeah, that was, it sounds horrible when I say it. We had a work session on sexual harassment. I think it meant the prevention of a hostile work environment. It is actually mandatory, state law, and so we did conduct that prior to this meeting. But at the same time, because of that, the closed session then was moved to the end of this meeting. The reason I say that is at this time, and Madam Secretary, you told me there is no one that wishes to speak public comments on closed session items. That is traditionally before we go into closed session. So there is no one that will no one is signed up to speak on closed session items. The two closed session items are the AFT negotiation items pursuant to government code, and that's 16.1, and 16.2 is the superintendent president's mid-year evaluation, which is also part of the contractual agreement that we have with the superintendent president to review it. It was intended to be at the last meeting in January, but unfortunately we couldn't get to that, so this is the first opportunity after that. Those are the two items we'll be dealing with in closed session. There's no one signed to speak on closed session items, so without objection, we will adjourn the meeting to a closed session. Without objection, the meeting is adjourned to closed session.